Thank you to all the Talmud Torah teachers here this evening. This Yom HaMorim, you can see I'm getting older too now. So that is especially elevated as we honor Mary Baumgarten for her remarkable 40 years of providing consistently outstanding learning opportunities for our community's children, including my own 3 children, Graham, Nova, and Aviv. Thank you, Mary. And to my father, a Shem Tov, respected and recognized internationally, Rabbi Avram, for his 50 years of distinguished scholarship, dedicated service, and enduring inspirational teachings. If I am allowed to say it, albeit with a somewhat subjective accent, a kinder, a more empathetic, and decent human being we would be fortunate to encounter. His is a soul who puts Torah into action, a Talmud scholar, one who seeks to share what he has learned in a compassionate manner. Nachmanides taught that when you rise from study, ponder carefully what you have learned. See what there is in it, in that which you have learned, and now go and put it into practice. After all, the goal of studying Torah is to shape our behavior. As the Chafetz Chaim, Rabbi Israel Meir Kagan, wrote about learning Torah, as noble as it is to study, the learner, the individual, needs sacred time set aside to do these deeds of kindness. And one thing my family still struggles with to this day is, why can't you just sit still for a few minutes in our house, a little longer? You just seem, but it seems you hear an inaudible voice, a call from somewhere, and you're on your way far too soon. Yeah. But rest assured, we're okay with this. We are at peace knowing that you are on your way to perform some act of righteousness for someone somewhere. My colleagues throughout the years have often prodded me confidentially, sometimes during faculty meetings or upon a welcome break, or upon just exiting a meeting, or sometimes in the throes of a turbulent school day. Danny, how the hell don't you react? How do you remain so damn calm? Why doesn't this stuff get to you? Can I talk to you about what's going on with such and such? I have the urge to tell them all that my stoic demeanor and bridled restraint is due to the hours of my self-indulgent meditation regimen that I've been attempting to master thanks to the spiritual guide whom I met while traveling the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. Or that this yoga teacher of mine in Northeast Minneapolis taught me this euphoric breathing rhythm. Or that I've read this terrific book where I discovered an esoteric, Kabbalistic, transcendental contemplation which allows me to dissipate the negative vibe. But the true, pristine answer is that the reason they feel at ease to share their feelings with me in confidence is that I've been preparing with a spiritual master since my birth, and I've breathed in the natural essence of his humble deeds, and that I've always felt prepared for the necessary silence. When daily tempers and emotions are fueled, which is not to say that I am lacking in either, and therefore all the more do I owe my father. When I was young, still unsure, deciding what path to take. Wait, that was this morning. I remember when my dad asked me if I really wanted to pursue a career in Jewish education. He challenged me with that at least a few times. And if that was what I truly had wanted. And it's as if I was preparing to convert to become, a Jewish educator by choice. I think that was the toughest Beit Din he has ever had to serve on. Yet, for me, it meant I could continue to study with the master. 50 years of doing anything is difficult to fathom. I contemplating doing the math on how many students my father has nurtured, or on how many anonymous deeds of kindness he quietly performs, or how many people come to my siblings and I to share with us a kind deed or a positive life force teaching from my father that happened decades ago, or only just a few moments ago. It is no grand wonder that former students living far away, some overseas, seek him out to perform their destination wedding ceremonies. I recently met one of those young couples who returned to Minneapolis for a visit. The groom, a former Talmud Torah student, shared with me that he lobbied his future in-laws for my dad to travel there to perform the wedding ceremony, while the bride-to-be and her family had no logical reason to forego their local rabbi service. They thought their future son-in-law was getting cold feet. Within moments of my father meeting the bride-to-be and her family, they understood that the groom's spiritual yearning for my dad to officiate was in harmony with the blessings they wished for the newlywed couple, and that with my father came an exuberant light which radiates a joy in Torah observance. My dad in his deeds is a blessing in all our lives. I'd like to share with you in closing just the short narrative, and I know it's late, from Rabbi Nachman that exemplifies my dad's caring way with students of all ages, which has influenced me greatly. Meeting each individual where he or she walks upon life's journey. And Rabbi Nachman's narrative goes like this. There was once a king whose son imagined he was a turkey, and he believed he had to sit underneath the dining room table naked and to scratch around for the leftover crumbs of old food. And the worried king tried all the doctors in his kingdom, but none could help his son. One day, a wise man came to the king and volunteered to help the boy. The man undressed and sat beneath the table with the king's son. And when the boy asked the man what he was doing under the table, the wise man answered, "I am a turkey." "I too am a turkey," said the king's son. So the two of them sat naked beneath the table for a few days. Imagine that. Getting acquainted with one another. And one day, the wise man had some shirts thrown down to them. "Do you think a turkey cannot wear a shirt?" he asked the boy. "Of course a turkey can wear a shirt and still remain a turkey." A few days later, the wise man had some pants thrown down to them. "Do you think that just because someone wears pants, he can't be a turkey?" he asked the boy. And they both put on pants. The wise man continued in this way until they were both fully clothed. Then he had some human food thrown down from the table. "Do you think," he asked the boy, "that if you eat good food, you cannot be a turkey?" "Of course you can be a turkey and eat good food." So they ate together. Finally, the wise man said, "Do you think a turkey has to sit under the table all the time? You know, it's possible to be a turkey and still sit at the table." And that is how the wise man went along, step by step, until he brought the boy back to the real world. Dad, may you continue for 50 more years to welcome us all to your table of learning and witness the righteous deeds of our study. We are as proud as we can possibly fill our hearts, as they are already overflowing with love. Chanoch lanar al pi darko, gam ki yazkin lo yasur mimena. Educate a child in the way the child ought to go, and he or she will not swerve from it, even in old age. Mazal tov Abba ad 120.